Yo-hey-yo, home varay. Yo-hey-ra, Jaroom, Bron, and G.
Hello, friends. It's totally only been like 2 hours since we did the other one. We just changed what we were wearing.
Yes.
Because we have reasons.
It definitely isn't like a week later because lots of crazy shit happened.
Crazy shit. You'd never believe us if we told you. It's
yes, there was invading. Icelandic people invaded.
I like Iceland. They have good products there. I mean, like the shop, not the country. I mean, sure, the country has good products
the Americans
too.
are like, you have a shop called Iceland?
It
what do they sell? Elk?
No,
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. They sell mostly frozen stuff, but they have some produce.
Iceland, you see?
Some, like small selection of other things, mostly refrigerated and frozen things.
Yeah.
But they have, like, an exotic foods thing, like, frozen
it's like a
meat
supermarket
area.
which doesn't sell extraneous crap and does not sell healthy food.
No, some of the stuff there is pretty healthy.
I'm talking about like vegetables and stuff. It's
yeah, they sell some vegetables.
Yeah, it's pretty much, convenience and frozen.
Yeah. But they have this like foreign meats thing, and they sell kangaroo steak, which is incredibly healthy. Very little fat, mostly lean protein. So that has nothing to do with Lexx, I'm just saying.
Yes. Basically, it took a while. But we watched the net, and
Net. Yeah. I think that you freaked out over much. Just saying.
I think I freaked out over much stuff too. Yes, I agree.
No.
Yes, the net is terrible. You are right.
No, but it's not as bad.
Speak the truth.
It's not as bad as you made it out to be.
It's pointless.
Nothing came and drilled holes into my skull.
It's
and then
pointless. It's the same story with 10% difference when you could easily have either cut some stuff out and made it one episode, perfectly fine. They could have put either of these episodes out by themselves and it would have been fine. Or they could have filmed some extra stuff and made it a traditional two-parter and it would have been fine. They took the most stupid approach to this that I can think of. It's like, here's our perfectly fine episode. Oh look, next week we got the same episode with 10% different!
You done? It was alright. I mean, basically you saw all the things that were happening from the worms, or the not worm, but the spider worm, the space thing.
It's not even like
it's the international sign language for spider space thing.
It's not even like a gimmicky thing like Rashomon or whatever. It takes you a couple of minutes to realize you're not rewatching the same episode.
You keep saying Rashomon, and I have no idea what that is.
It's a Japanese film.
Oh.
But okay, first time I watched this, it took me like 10 minutes to realize I wasn't rewatching the same episode, because although they started at different points, it had been like a couple of days since I watched it. I was just like, what? This and eating pattern is the worst thing to happen to Lexx, except for possibly some later parts of season 4.
But yeah, so basically you find out that... Stop doing that! You find out that Stan was being controlled by the worm.
Yeah.
And he, like, was going... And another time when basically, gee, there's an alien thing that's, like, connected to Lex's cerebrum right above the bridge console, where Leyka sleeps in her pod.
And it's made of flesh, so Leyka should have been all like, I am hungry.
I will give you the dreams of glory, spider's space thing.
Yeah, but they're saving Leyka and her actress for, later on this season.
Maybe she had other commitments.
It's like, I am German. It's a 24/7 job.
Being German?
Yeah. Germans get paid to be German.
They do, you lying liar.
Creature, back me up.
If you could pay to be German, write the show. But, yeah, so basically, I don't have much to add because you find out that it was,
It's the same fucking thing, so
Stan
logically,
doing things
there's
then...
1/10 extra footage in it, so logically this should be 1/10 the length of the previous one.
And they break out, obviously, of the thing.
Yeah. It shouldn't exist, this episode. And the last one shouldn't exist. It's... It's like, I don't know, trying to work out some sort of comparison to the quantum sort of experiments involving like light beams, where it's both a wave and a particle. It's like that.
This episode was both a wave and a particle. Thanks, everyone. We'll see y'all next week.
It's one thing split into two things. When you do it in science, it's fun. When you do it in fiction, it's like, When you treat...
I think that you're making too much of a big deal
When you
out of
treat
it.
an episode like of a science fiction story as though it is theoretical physics, it's interesting on a meta level, but the result is pointless.
I think that you're making too big of a deal over it because you presented it to me as though like my console would shoot the disc back at me and like decapitate me like Odd Job. That's how you represented this to me.
You're lucky it didn't.
I live a life of hyperbole apparently. No, but I mean like I don't know. See, I guess I didn't feel as poorly disposed towards this episode because it broke away from the Lexx format of, oh no, everybody squabbles. Oh no, we go down to a planet because we're looking for something, or they ask us to go there. Oh no, we all get captured because they want the Lexx, which we left unmanned. Oh no, but Kai saves the day. And then we go back to squabbling again at the end. I'm like, but this was kind of different. I mean, yeah, Zev sticking up for Stan a lot, even though 790 was right. You know, he was possessed.
Well, we have 3 episodes left. 2 of whom are good. 1 of whom really feels like an early season episode.
Why?
It's just like, oh no, the universe is coming to an end. Blah 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 blah. Then,
pretty much, they're running out of places to blow up.
Yeah, and then we have 1 episode where it's like, oh no, this thing happening. Guy's turning up. Guy appears. Nothing to do with anything.
I predict.
Not quite. I'm talking about the episode Breeze On, which you'll see when we do a vlog for that, and it's a fine episode. I'm not really bitching about it. It just feels like it should have been earlier in the season.
I predict that Kai will kill Mantrid.
You were wrong.
Really? Wow.
I'm sorry.
I predict that 790 will not.
You are wrong.
I predict that Mantrin's arms will kill Mantrid.
You are wrong.
Oh.
You should quit while you're not ahead.
Yeah. I predict that, like...
You are wrong.
But yeah, like, I feel bad that we should be being more entertaining, but...
Yeah,
I mean,
same sort of stuff.
It was kind of cool. I guess it was like a... kind of an X-Files kind of, like, everyone, you know, looks away and says, speaking in the alien voice to the thing.
Yeah, it's the sort of story that could be done.
Where, like, people standing near him totally should have noticed him doing that.
Yeah.
That's like the first time we watched a televised version of an opera in elementary school in music class. And then it was Amal and the Night Visitors. And Amal's mom is standing there while the 3 kings are, like, sleeping nearby. Like, with us singing this whole aria, like, having a soliloquy about should I steal the gifts spent for, you know, Jesus, you know, this person they think is going to be born, or should I just let them be? Do you really do with all that money and blah, blah, blah. And then, so after we were done watching the movie, this kid in my class, Seth, raised in, and he's like, Mr. Sell, how come the 3 kings didn't hear her when she was making all that racket about wanting to rob them? And he had to explain what an aside was. That's what it felt like. Look over there, Zev and Kai.
Yeah, that sort of theatrical aside being used in television, it's unusual, but... Well, actually, in the episode, they did hear the noise, and they came in, but then Stan was all like, oh, I heard it too. So
I said.
It's very egregious in early Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
In Hartnell especially, because usually they only had a couple of sets and stuff.
See, then it was an homage to that, and you've been panning it so unfairly.
I sincerely doubt
They've been weeping at
Classic
your
Who was
scorn for
filmed as
years.
though it was a stage play quite often, because that was the usual in British TV. American TV, as far as I can tell, was tried even in the early days to be like a film, but not very well. British TV was wholly embraced its theatrical beginnings.
Well, no, because I mean, if you look at America, like early American sitcoms.
Oh yeah, they're filmed with multiple camera stuff.
Yeah.
And thinking about, you know, dramas and stuff.
Oh, I know. Fair enough.
They didn't achieve it, but they tried to be more filmy, while British ones were trying to be
Yes,
theatrical.
we always did reach for the stars.
We read. Well,
you guys just lunged for the ground. Ha ha ha.
We're like, theatre, much better. But then again, the UK has a very vibrant theatre scene, which America doesn't. In America, theatrical is sort of upper middle class, upper class, sort of hoity-toity sort of
Yeah.
thing. While in the UK, it's all classes. I mean,
It's like culture. Like, I mean, I know people who, you know, like live in like middle class areas who do stage production and musicals and stuff like that, like the local playhouse.
Yeah.
But by and large, it's not seen like as the draw of NASCAR.
Yeah. Well, in the UK, you got pantomimes for children, which is basically like a children's thing that grew out of burlesque. You've got.
I thought it came out of vaudeville.
No, sorry, burlesque also grew out of vaudeville.
Yeah, because I was thinking
confused.
Hey kids,
Pantomime and burlesque are both cousins.
I'm Puss in Boots, and I'm gonna take it up.
They both evolved out of music hall, which is the British version of burlesque. So basically, theater is fairly classless. One of those pretty unusual.
Yeah,
for
isn't
British
it
stuff.
like people would go to see Shakespeare and like there was a place for like lower class people to stand and they would like buy food and then throw it at the stage?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was.
Oi, let's have a play then.
Until fairly recently, the theater was fairly recently in European standards.
So like a few hundred years.
Was primarily sort of a working class thing.
Yeah, now it'd be like, I don't think like all the lads sitting home watching like the X Factor are gonna be like, "Oh, mates, let's go take in a play." I don't even know what British accent, English accent it's supposed to be, but
Yeah, but you can go.
You can, but like now that it's not farm times anymore, we have iPods.
Okay.
So this diverged, but basically the net and the web not as bad.
That
as
was
you said.
Divergent.
No, we're Divergent.
Next is going to be Insurgent, and after that is Malignant.
No. Insurgent was the first one. Okay, it was Divergent, Insurgent,
Malignant.
and Allegiant. No, not
Malignant.
And wasn't allergic either. You have that new book, Allergic? Wait, what? There's another one though called Four, which is just short stories about her boy.
Anyway, we're gonna watch your backseat critique
you're
now.
Out of frame. Come back into frame.
I'm trying to find the film. Here it is.
Oh,
We're gonna watch a backseat critique, which was requested by a patron. So fly over to my YouTube because, to be fair, my
like
one
the wind.
It's probably already up on my YouTube. We're watching Digging Up the Marrow.
In between baking.
By Adam Green.
I baked today. I had this idea to make Irish toffee bars, aka millionaire bars. But because my brother-in-law is doing some charity thing for his job involving a bake, so I'm not really sure. He just asked me to bake something, and he said he was buying the ingredients, so I said okay. So instead of making the toffee squares with shortbread on the bottom, I made brownie, so it's brownie on the bottom, and then a layer of caramel toffee that I just made at the stove, and that's setting, and then it's going to be a layer of chocolate on the top.
This is Adam Green playing himself.
Who's Adam Green?
He's the director of the Hatchet movies.
Oh.
Oh, and apparently Frozen. I know this is definitely...
Frozen the Frozen?
This is definitely not the same Frozen, but I wish.
Let it go.
But
that would be so weird if that was the truth.
Yeah.
Director of Hatchet and Frozen.
Remember Hatchet being fairly gory.
Is that like
so
how...
the price is a 15.
What's his face? Your man did Happy Feet, but then Mad Max Fury Road.
Well, he started off with Mad Max 1.
Oh.
So he was like Mad Max 1 and 2, and he directed half of 3, and then he was like, I'm doing Happy Feet 1 and 2, and Babe Pig in the City, and then I'm going back to Fury Road.
So, do you reckon that now Babe Pig in the City will not be imported into the UK anymore? It'll have
especially considering
have an 18 rating.
Especially considering that the financial centre of London is called the City.
Ooh. I mean, I ain't saying David Cameron's a pig fucker. I'm just saying David Cameron's a pig fucker. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm saying. There you go.